morning and welcome to the NBA Daily presented by Amazon Prime for February 12th, 2026. I'm Dave DuFour here with Zena Keita. Coming up, Kawhi Leonard had himself a fourth quarter. We're going to hit that. Then James Edwards is here to talk about the Knicks' big win and what they need to do coming out of the All-Star break. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Zena? And crazy Monday night. At one point, Zena,
I could not keep up with the amount of games. But
13 games on at once.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Man, my brain is kind of fried.
I am
how about
too.
you? Yeah. Well, and you're watching.
I was yawning a little bit. So
I don't know how you're keeping up. Unrivaled. We got 13 games on Monday night. They were doing their one-on-one tournament. How was that?
Mm-hmm. It was good. It's been fun watching it so far. Last night was the first night of the one-on-one tournament. And I like the fact that they've already split up the bigs and the smalls, so we don't have to see the interpositional matches until later on. But keep watching. It doesn't end until this weekend. So lots of fun competitions so far.
Yeah, and check out No Off Season. One of Zena's other jobs around here. All right. Hey, speaking of things to check out, Clippers and Rockets played a back-to-back in Houston. Okay, so it's a little bit rare, and we hit the Rockets side of this yesterday with Kelly Eco. Well, the Clippers mounted a 15-point comeback in game 2 of the back-to-back to win the game. And before we say anything, I know I've been hard on the Rockets. It's hard to beat a team 2 nights in a row, and the Clippers aren't that bad. You know, they're only 2 games under 500 right now, and I know that they traded away 2 of their best players, and it makes no sense because Kawhi Leonard is no doubt like a top 10 player this year, and we saw it last night, Zena. He put up 19 points in the fourth quarter, hit the game-winning pull-up in the lane, and won with 2 seconds left. And he was guarding Durant down the stretch, especially when he started to heat up. He slid over. Listen, the game is a little bit of a throwaway, I think, from a result standpoint. You know, like there's no big takeaway when you have to play second night of a back-to-back against a team he played yesterday. But Kawhi stands out to me.
Yeah, Kawhi stands out to you. His build stands out to you. His capacity for continuing to play the way that he has been playing for years now still stands out to you. I mean, the game-winning shot, he had teammates open. There was a crowd around him, and he just spun away, faded away from the crowd, hits the game winner in a mid-range. So very Kawhi-like for him to be able to take that down. But I just love this about Kawhi for what we have said about him his entire career, of making sure he's capable of staying on the floor, that he's healthy, right? He's played in 40 games this season. He scored 20 or more points in 37 of them. Okay? This is a guy that is steady and consistent when he is healthy. And as much as we want to say, like, why would you trade away James Harden when this guy's playing this well? Why would you trade away Ivica Zubac when he's playing this well? I'm going to just tell you right now, Benedict Mathurin looked really good alongside Kawhi Leonard last night. Sure. And so did the rest of the supporting cast. But I don't want to say that things are over for the Clippers just because they've lost 2 of their big 3. It won't be the same dominant Clippers, but they have a balanced attack right now. And I actually really like the pickups that they've had to add to their cast, particularly Mathurin off the bench.
Okay, so Brook Lopez slides into the starting lineup. And you know, I totally understand there is a drop-off there. But Brook Lopez has been playing better basketball here lately. They've got, I guess, a conglomeration of guys who can score a little bit now. You mentioned Mathurin goes to the free throw line 10 times. Mm-hmm. Okay. The thing that's really helping them is that they're going to play a lot of teams that aren't really trying to win. And so this is still probably a play-in team, but they're not as scary as they were when they had James Harden and Ivica Zubac.
Sure, absolutely.
So it is just different. And especially, look, Kawhi he looks so good. It was another fourth quarter that was tough for the Rockets. That's another thing I'll say. They only scored 19 points in the fourth. You know, some of the same problems that we've been hitting on. I just don't know what they do outside of sign a point guard who can help them out.
And that's the problem, is that we've seen this consistently happen with Houston, where they have lulls. And even Coach Ime Udoka talked about this post-game, is that if they don't have the lulls in the middle of the game that they had that allowed the Clippers to come back, because let's remind ourselves that the Clippers were down 15 at one point in this game. And it was not only the offensive lulls, the Clippers packed the paint, they blitzed the pick and rolls, which the Houston Rockets have seen all season. So they should be pretty skilled and adept at being able to pass out of it, to be able to not to see that third defender on the backside rotate over and know not to pass directly into that. It, contributed to their 20 plus turnovers. This is why they're in the bottom 3rd of the league in terms of turnovers. But they've seen this all season long, and they still struggle to score when teams pack the paint. And so this is something that the Houston Rockets have to pay attention to. You do give them credit for, getting back into the mix of things. Alperen Şengün is probably going to want that free throw back.
For sure.
That he missed at the end of the game.
One back.
But overall, this is a good win by the Clippers. It felt playoff-like for them.
Yeah. And Kawhi was awesome, which is fun. Okay, the Bucks beat the Magic. I repeat, the Bucks beat the Magic
do all that, Dave.
In Orlando, Zena. They beat them 116-108. No Giannis, of course, for the Bucks. And the Magic are finally healthy. This is not supposed to happen, Zena. The Magic are supposed to be better than this. Mm-hmm. And frankly, I got one question to ask after watching this game. How come the Orlando Magic didn't sign Cam Thomas? Was this a Cam Thomas revenge game? Like, did he maybe meet with the Magic and he was like, oh, these guys don't want me? 34 points off the bench, 12 of 20. Doc Rivers is ecstatic right now.
Right. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of teams that could be asking themselves that question. When I saw Cam Thomas was available, say what you want. There, of course, has been a little bit questionable news about what kind of teammate Cam Thomas is or what kind of culture that Cam Thomas provides, being that he is a walking bucket himself, not necessarily a floor setter for everyone else around him to eat, but that's okay. He can get you buckets. And how many teams in the league right now need a certified bucket? And the Bucks were absolutely one of them. I think Orlando probably was one of those teams that said, hey, if we get healthy, we're good. We got a ton of buckets. We got a ton of height and buckets. And Cam Thomas provides only one of those things. And so I get why Orlando may not have said we need him, but man, did it look like they needed him against the Bucks. And I love this for Cam Thomas. First games, with the Bucks, he was still getting his I don't know, maybe his snow gear on. Like, I don't know what's going on in Milwaukee, but he was just getting accustomed to the Bucks in general. And then his welcome party off the bench, being able to just tear up whatever Orlando wanted to do defensively. That to me was actually more of the concern. The fact that the Orlando Magic defense, which is supposed to be prized, was not capable of containing him.
You gave up 116 to a Bucks team that doesn't really have a notable player that creates shots or that scares you. And I think that's a real problem for Orlando. Or this has not been a good year for them. Obviously, the health stuff has been an issue, but the results have been poor even when they've been healthy. So hopefully they figure things out. Otherwise, I mean, like you're a play-in team and likely out in the first round. Okay, we've been talking a lot about tanking because, to repeat, a third of the league is actively trying to lose. So we're going to check in on this. We had some tank teams playing each other last night, Zena. The Pacers and the Nets. Okay, the Pacers to this point they've essentially been making lemonade out of lemons. Okay, you come into the year, you lose Miles Turner, coming out of the finals. I mean, that hurts you. And obviously the Tyrese Halliburton injury, he's out for the season. Sure. Okay, they happen to also have some bad injury luck to start the year. You lean in. Okay, the game against the Nets last night was the first night I can think of off the top of my head where the Pacers, they pulled everyone. That was it. They did no Siakam. Zubac not going to play for a while, if at all, this season. The ethical tank is over for the Pacers, and yet they were playing the Brooklyn Nets, and someone, because of the rules of the NBA, had to win the game, Zena. So the Pacers win. They're now tied with the Nets in the win column. They have a 2-loss lead in the loss column. They have more losses than the Nets. So
listen, if there's anyone you're more impressed with the tank, it's actually Brooklyn. Because if you look at who was in that starting lineup, these are draft picks. These are guys they've traded for. These are guys that are, legitimate names in comparison to a lot of more G League guys that are coming up into spaces and with the Indiana Pacers. So shout out to the Indiana Pacers guys. proving themselves, being able to get the win, not necessarily what you want.
Yeah, listen,
they pulled it out.
Nobody wants to win. Speaking of the Utah Jazz, they played the Kings, who they weren't tanking. They're just bad. And it was a blowout, not in the way you might think. The Utah Jazz win 121-93. They built a lead so big at halftime. Jaren Jackson and Lauri Markkanen, I feel like there's a conspiracy working here. They are going to try to build leads that they can't possibly tank out of. And it helps that they're playing the Kings, who lost their 14th straight. Again, Kings just bad.
Kangs is Kangsing right now. But it's true. We have seen this consistently. Jaren Jackson Jr., Lauri Markkanen, and Jusuf Nurkic not playing more than 27 minutes a night, typically around that 25-minute mark and down. But the thing is, you cannot help all-stars be all-stars. They can't help but have the 20-point games that they're having in the small amount of times they're out on the floor. I feel like there could be a conspiracy. I mean, Will Hardy, look around.
Will Hardy's still coaching hard, too. This is the other thing. And he was coaching hard. I mean, in the fourth quarter of a blowout that his team was winning, he was coaching hard. There is a lot of stuff happening. And I do think that not playing your best players in a fourth quarter that's close and not calling a timeout, you do mess with the integrity of the sport.
Yeah.
I do think that that's an issue. But this Jazz team, what I'm trying to focus on is the positive. They are going to be real fun next season, and they may have a high draft pick to add to this. So if we're looking at the silver lining, everybody, look, I keep getting ganged up on by Andrew and S. I'm glad. I think Zena's on my side, but I keep getting ganged up on about the tanking. I understand it's a smart strategy. It's just lame.
I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Dave, we're on the same page. The funny thing is we keep having this conversation together.
I know.
And we're on the same page, but I guess we need us and Andrew to explain this to us, because I agree with you. It's too obvious. It's too blatant that you're not
trying to win.
Yeah.
Is it sports? All right. For more on that question, actually, we're not going to hit it. We got James Edwards after the break, guys. We're going to talk Knicks and what they need coming out of the break. The Knicks bounced back on the second night of a back-to-back after a bad loss that might have broken their back, Zena. But instead, they busted the 76ers open. Won by 49 points. Our guy, James Edwards, was there. Now he's in the parking lot. He's about to commute home. James, heck of a game. That's how you respond to a loss to a team as bad as the Pacers this season. And, man, Jose Alvarado looks like a huge pickup for the Knicks.
That was one. First off, good to see you guys. Secondly,
good to see you.
That was maybe the most sexually innuendo-filled intro of all time.
I don't know about that.
Break your back.
This is a kid's show, James.
Oh, yes. This is a children's show.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can cut that.
So good. So good.
Yeah, no. I mean, Jose, listen, I wrote today, he played all the hits plus some B-sides. He came in, got steals, got deflections, brought energy, hit 8 threes, tied his career high. The Knicks would have won comfortably without his 26 points. They came to handle business, and that's kind of the give and take with this Knicks team this year. They look great at times. They look very bad at times. They have the highest of highs, the lowest of lows. And like you said, they lost to the Pacers last night, come back and smash Philly. A few weeks ago, they lost to Dallas at home, got the brakes beat off them, and then turned around and beat the Brooklyn Nets by 54 or something like that. Right. So this Knicks team, as I've written, like they have the pieces to be an NBA title contender. They just have to find consistency. And no team's going to be perfect. You're not going to win every single game, but the levels in which that their play dips is concerning at times. And, they need to spend the second half of the season not seesawing as much and finding a little bit more balanced ground to walk on.
That was going to be my question to you, James, is, looking into the second half of the year, what should the Knicks look to or focus on? You think about the fact that going into this year, they went on that 2 of 9 skid. And now they've won 10 of their last 12. They're starting to put some things together. Of course, we saw Jose Alvarado last night pick up the slack after Jalen Brunson drops 40 in a loss against the Pacers. He didn't have to do so much with Jose Alvarado being able come off the bench. If you're looking for consistency, what do you need to look to within your offense, your defense, your roster? What's the key to the consistency for the Knicks?
For me, it's all defensive. I don't really worry about this team offensively. They're going to live and die by the three-point shot more than they did in previous years. That's fine. A lot of teams do that. I still worry about Karl Anthony Towns' shooting going forward. He has to find that. We have enough games now where it's worth wondering and worrying about. Mm-hmm. But they are a good offensive team. They have enough guys that can make shots. Defensively is it. They're never going to be a great defensive team, but they have the tools to be good. And we just don't see it enough. And when we do see it, it's like, holy crap, like this team really can get to that level defensively. And if they're able to score, they're a really tough team to beat. But being able to be physical at the point of attack, being able to not be a step slow in rotations, those are the things we need to see a bit more consistently. We did see it a lot during the 8-game winning streak. But we also didn't see it when they won 2-11 games, right? Then we didn't see it last night in Indiana. We saw it tonight against Philly. They just need to find a little bit more balance there on the defensive end. I think Mitchell Robinson being able to play way more minutes will be helpful for this group. He's just been very good, and he's just such an impactful player. They don't have OG yet. Who knows when he'll be back? He has a toe avulsion, which I've been told if you've lost your toenail or it's very painful.
I've experienced it.
I've been fortunate in my playing days to never have done that. So, that sounds terrible, but so we don't know when he's coming back, but they still have the pieces to be okay defensively, as we saw tonight. Yes, Philly's different when Embiid's not playing, and they also didn't have Grimes, but the Knicks handled business, and they have a level of intensity that they can get to defensively that they need to show more.
I'm glad you brought up Mitchell Robinson, and he only played 15 minutes last night, all right? How do they get his minute load up? Because that's really the trick. When OG comes back and when you've got Mitchell Robinson out there, you have two guys that can help make up for some of the mistakes at the point of attack and obviously the rim protection and rebounding that they both bring. So how do they get his minutes? He needs to play 25 minutes for him, and it seems like he can just never get there.
So they have actually in the month of January, if you go and look, I think he played 6 or 7 games at 24 minutes or more, which was double what he had done from the start of the season to December. So they have been able to kind of ramp that up a little bit more. I think the game against Philly, that's more so that was just such a butt whooping that they might not have needed him as much, but he's still not able to play on back-to-backs. You don't have to worry about back-to-backs in the playoffs, but they have ramped up his minutes a bit more here. I know we're in February now, but January is really when it started. Just being able to insulate Jalen with 4 good defenders is going to be huge for this team. And the more Mitch can play, the more minutes he can go, the longer stretches he has, that's good for everybody. So I'm very curious to see if they can continue to kind of build on that. Again, they've shown flashes. They just need to do it. Again, you're not going to win every game, but there's a level of consistency that they're just not showing that they need to show.
This was also their last matchup against Philly. And, you see teams starting to close out these series against teams. Any lessons learned from this matchup against the 76ers over the course of the year?
Yeah, I think there's a few. If I'm not mistaken, I think I don't know if they split or New York won 2.
They actually split.
They did split. Mm-hmm. So the first 2, Philly won. New York really struggled with their ball handling, Tyrese Maxey. And that's going to be with Paul George too. That's going to be something if both these teams are healthy in the playoffs that the Knicks are going to have to, again, goes back to defense, be able to be disciplined. Mm-hmm. And they are a team that can struggle when teams have multiple ball handlers. The Knicks do have that, or the Sixers do have that. But I have learned in just watching this team that, again, there is a level that they can get to defensively. Maxey was good, but they took away everybody else, and they were able to really stymie them. So if they can do that, thank you. If they can do that consistently, I think it bodes well for a lot of the teams they face. But yeah, going against teams that have that level of ball handling has been a struggle for them at times. But they've dug down deep before.
Hey, shout out to whoever brought James his charger.
Yeah, shout out to Steve Popper.
There you go. All right, shout out to Steve Popper. James, all right, before we let you get out of here, it's All-Star Weekend coming up. Anything you're looking forward to? I feel like it's been a lot of negativity, including from me. about just like the weirdness of the format. Nobody's doing a dunk contest. Give me one good thing that you're looking forward to about the weekend.
I kind of got like a wrestling / like Royal Rumble pop. Like I got excited when I saw Dame was doing the 3-point contest.
Yes.
Like I'm really like looking forward to that. As a basketball fan, I love watching Dame. It makes sense that he's able to do this. It's stationary shooting. It's been a bit since his injury, but it's just good to see Dame. Like Dame is one of the good dudes in the NBA. He's one of the fun guys to watch. I don't know. It's hard. He's one of those guys that you just kind of root for. Like he plays the right way. He's fun. His relationship with Portland is very cool. Mm-hmm. So it's just good to see Dame. I'm excited to see Dame. And shout out to I need my guy Jace Richardson. Shout out to Michigan State. You see the hat.
Okay.
I need him to do what his daddy did in all those dunk contests years ago and bring it home for the
that was the fourth guy, Dave. We were trying to figure out
Jace Richardson. Yes, we couldn't remember on the shoot around this
morning. I know, is that terrible?
But,
I know.
Again, disrespect.
Well, it's not really that. It's more just poor marketing. And
it's
Jace Richardson, respectfully, who I hope does well. I'm assuming we're going to see Jason Richardson do something out there. So always, that's the funnest part about the All-Star game. And this is why the Damian Lillard thing is cool, is because it is when everybody comes back. So I don't know. There's been a lot of hand wringing about an injured guy being in it, but I'm with you, James. I think it's awesome. I think James is awesome. Guys, go and read him over at The Athletic. James Edwards, thank you so much. Thanks to Zena Keita. I'm Dave DuFour. This has been the NBA Daily. Thanks for hanging out with us.